G'day, Jen is your friend. Great question. Now, this is a pretty technical question, but I'm going to cover off in a high level. Now, once again, it's best to get advice on this depending on your particular situation, but I'll give you some of the fundamentals. So, can you borrow on 30 June, repay on the 1st of July, and then push the issue away for another year and have minimal interest to pay on day one of the loan? Now, this is in reference to a Division 7A loan arrangement. I covered that off in my previous video. So if you want to find out a little bit more about what Division 7A is, feel free to go check that out. But the reality of this particular arrangement is that if a loan has been taken and that does tick over the financial year, it does require for it to be a complying Division 7A loan arrangement. And in a Division 7A loan arrangement, typically speaking, an unsecured arrangement goes for 7 years principal and interest. And when the loan is repaid, that amount has to be distributed as a dividend in that financial year, which means that you do need to pay tax on the marginal tax rate based on that distribution. So the issue with this particular strategy is that if you were going to trigger a Division 7A loan arrangement and then just repay it, then you may as well have just distributed it as a profit anyway, right? Because the reality is you're getting no benefit and you have to pay some extra interest as well. So if you're going to do a Division 7A loan, typically speaking, you normally do it over the entirety of the term because otherwise there's not a little value of that strategy. There is an opportunity, and once again, it is a relatively high-risk strategy, that you borrow money from your business in the middle of the financial year or some point in the financial year, you put it back into the company before the end of the financial year. There is a bit of a grey area, but what we've found is that if you do this in, say, 1 year, for example, taking money out on an ad hoc basis, you put it back into the company before the financial year and the financial year has not ticked over with that loan still outstanding, well, technically the loan has been repaid. So there isn't any need for interest. Now, if you do make a pattern of doing this, so let's say, for example, you had money in your business that you pull it out on the 1st of July, you put it back on the 30th of June, and then at the next financial year, 1st of July, you take it out again, then if you get audited, which potentially you may do, it could be seen as you essentially trying to contravene the tax system, and they may force you to distribute it as a dividend. They may force you to set up a complying Division 7A loan arrangement. There could also potentially be some penalties. But doing it as a once-off and putting that back into your business or anything that can be done without a pattern is a potential option. Once again, high-risk strategy, best to get some specialist tax advice if you're looking to do anything like this. There's been plenty of business owners that do this. And let's say, for example, on the 10th of July, pull money out, put it into their offset, put it back in on, say, the 15th of June, and then the next year on the 20th of July, they pull it out, and then the 10th of June, they put it back in. They're varying it up. Business owners do this. It could be seen as, once again, a tax avoidance strategy, so you've got to be careful. The ATO is pretty tight-lipped about this kind of stuff. However, we have heard of people getting audited and getting impacted for doing these kinds of strategies. So once again, continue at your own risk. Great question. Keep them coming. Hope this is valuable.